to look like a European, because it has been promoted to them that this is godlike, closer to God, right? And of course, it's the nature of people to do this, right? I don't necessarily believe that this was an insidious plan by the Christians of Europe, that they were trying to really make everybody believe, but that's just the natural consequence, that people who make images of God tend to make images of God looking like themselves. So when you go to the Buddhists, and Buddhism has spread from India, you don't find it in India anymore, though it was a reform movement in Hinduism. You find it in Sri Lanka, Cambodia, in Japan. Now if you go to Sri Lanka, Buddha looks like a Sri Lankan. If you go to Cambodia, he looks like a Cambodian. You go to Japan, he looks like a Japanese. This is the nature of people. When they're going to represent the God to their own people, they try to make that God look like themselves. Right? So this is the natural consequence which happens from trying to represent God in His creation. The other form, shirk by deification, this involves giving Allah's attributes to His creation. We spoke about that in Shiaism and etc. Now, whether we look at individuals, and I mentioned as one example the Nusayris, which is a branch of Shiaism, followed by the ruling class of Syria. Right? The Nusayris, Hafid Asad, his son, and the others, they belong to this group of Shiites who call themselves Alawis. They're called Alawis or Nusayris. They believe, and the mass of Syrians don't believe this. Mass of Syrians are quote unquote Sunni Muslims. But the ruling class, they believe that Allah became manifest in human form as Muhammad ﷺ, Ali, and Salman al-Farisi. This is their belief. And this takes them right out of Islam. That is kufr in reality. Right? Now, also, if we look at Sufi groups who have given powers, amongst Muslims who call themselves Sunni Muslims, you have those who have given powers of Allah to human beings. Powers which only belong to Allah. And where they have done that, they have committed shirk by deification. The statement of Al-Hallaj, saying, Ana al-Haq, I am the embodiment of truth. As Allah said, describing Himself, Wahu al-Haq, He describes Himself as being al-Haq. For any Muslim to say, Ana al-Haq, he's basically saying, I'm Allah. So he's giving Allah's attribute of being the embodiment of truth to Himself. This becomes shirk by deification. The other area of shirk by deification is an area that many of us have inadvertently participated in when we went to our high school and we learned Einstein's theory of relativity. When we wrote in our books E equals mc squared, we were writing a statement of shirk. E equals mc squared is a statement of shirk. Yes, people split the atom with it and everything else, but the reality from an Islamic perspective is that this statement E equals mc squared, which is E represents energy, equals mc, that is the square, this is the mass times the square of the speed of light. This is how it is put in actual formula. But when it is expressed as a statement, it is said that energy can neither be created nor destroyed. This is what they say. Energy transforms into matter, matter transforms back into energy. This is the concept, a closed system. So when you say energy can neither be created nor destroyed, what are you saying here? You're saying that energy has no beginning nor end. And that is Allah. Only Allah is without beginning or end. And Allah, of course, has said in the Quran, وَهُوَ خَالِقُ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ. He is the creator of everything. Therefore, energy was created by Allah. And Allah also said, كُلُّ مَا عَلَيْهَا فَانٍ. Everything in this world will disappear. It will end. Go out of existence. And Allah will bring it back. So everything has an end. Energy will end. It has a beginning and it has an end. That is the correct belief. So therefore, those of us that are still in our studies and we have to learn this thing, in high school, what do? The teacher asks you what's Einstein's theory of relativity. What are you going to write in your book now? Now if you write, hey, this is the statement of shirk, I can't write it, guess what? You just failed your examination. So what you do is when you write this, E equals mc squared, you put in brackets after it, by man. By humankind. Okay, you're covered. Well, we accept that. As human beings, we cannot create or destroy energy. Now, of course, the Darwinian theory of evolution, this is also an explanation for everything which exists, as they say, without having to resort to God. So they elevate the principle of survival of the fittest to God. It becomes the God. This is what is creating and developing and molding and shaping and all these different things. This principle of survival of the fittest. And of course, as Muslims, we reject that. It is all in accordance with Allah's plan. Now, the last category of shirk is that in Tawheed al-Ibadah, that is in the area of worship, where people have called human beings to worship other than Allah. And the basic message of the prophets was to call people to the worship of Allah alone. As Allah said, وَلَقَدْ بَعَثْنَا فِي كُلِّ أُمَّةٍ رَسُولًا أَنِ اعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ وَاجْتَنِبُوا الطَّاغُوتَ. In Surah An-Nahl, verse 36, Allah said there, surely I have sent to every nation a messenger, saying, worship Allah and avoid false gods. This is the essence of the message of Islam. So, shirk, major shirk has been divided now into two aspects, what we would call ash-shirk al-akbar, major shirk, and ash-shirk al-asghar, minor shirk. Major shirk is this act of worshipping others instead of Allah, besides Allah, along with Allah. All of these practices become a form, one or other, of shirk. And as we said before, as Tawheed has external aspects, shirk and internal aspects, shirk also has external and internal aspects. That a person may commit shirk externally by bowing before idols, bowing before others beside Allah, and internally they can commit shirk by emotionally attaching themselves to some aspects of His creation. This is why Prophet ﷺ had said, Ta'isa abdud dirham wa abdud dinar. The worshipper of the dirham and the dinar will always be miserable. He called them worshippers of the dirham